Go over some more risk entries, and I'm actually going to teach you a trick which allows you to take a little bit more of confirmation on these risk entries. So we're going to go over price action from Friday. Oh, there we go. So as always, we're going to be marking up our MSNR levels as normal. So one that is very prevalent here is this level, and then we've got a flip level. Let me actually colour these for the right colour. If I can find my thing. Where's that? There it is. H4 and H4. If you ever see a red line on my chart, just know it's a H4. If you ever see a yellow line or an orange line, it's a H1, and if you ever see a dotted line, then it's a 15-minute, and a black line is a daily. So they're just like little pointers if you're wanting to know what my charts are. I'm also going to start putting the pair and the time back up here as well. I know quite a few of you have asked for that. Take up one here. Now there's a reason why I've not marked this one out. I'll quickly go over that. So we see here that price comes into it and there is no gap level here. Sorry, not a gap level, no miss level, okay? Now you can take these if you really want to, however they're just a lot less likely. They're not high probability for me. I believe that's everything. Sorry about that, I could feel a sneeze coming on. So obviously with H4 levels, if we are going to refine them, we go to the 15-minute. So now we're going to go on the 15-minute and refine these bad boys. So when I'm refining a level, I don't really like to go for gap levels. I like to either have a high or a low. Okay. And like I said, this is 15-minute. So we have this level here. And really, the next high or low that I'd probably be picking, like you could say, yeah, this is a high or low, but this is above it. So the next high or low would actually be that there. And for me, that's just a little bit too far. So I wouldn't be looking to take a risk entry off of this level. So we have that H4 level, and then this is the next one. And then finally we just come over here. And where's the next level after this? Well, it's actually this level. Now, why have I picked this level? Well, notice that this is actually a flip level. So we flip once up and we flip once down. So this is what you call a double flip. Okay, we can have zones like this where we've come up and down. That there is a double flip, and that's valid. If this were to flip up again one more time, after that I'd disregard it. Right. So now, how are we looking for these confirmations? All I'm simply doing now is as soon as we run into this and get a doji in the direction we want to trade in, then for me, I see this as a valid entry. Okay. So for EU, I would either go anywhere from 2 to 3 pips. And your first target, obviously, is 5R. Now on this one here, this would have been a loss. You would have come back up to stop loss if you had 3 pips. And if you had 2 pips, yeah, same thing. You'd have just missed out. That's fine. Losses happen. So then we come up here. Oh, pardon me. Sorry about that. Why is that not doing that? So we come up here and we tap in, okay? So notice, I don't think we actually tap in here. On the broker I use, we hadn't tapped in just yet. So for me, I wasn't actually looking at this. The first trade that I was looking at was this bearish doji here, and this is something you could have taken with, again, either a 2 or a 3 pip stop loss, like so. Now, where would we have targeted for this? In reality, we would have targeted down there. And look at that move. Crazy, crazy move. And you're in straight after we've tapped in. Okay, our next level is here. And notice, we tap in here, but we haven't tapped the refinement yet, so we can't look to take a trade. Okay. We tap into that refinement. And you'd have taken a loss here, I believe. But you're up for the day anyway. You can look to take a couple of trades on a POI. The max I'd take on one of these using a risk entry like this is, you know, 2 losses per level. You can see here. You're doing perfectly fine with that stop loss. And now you could be targeting this here on the flip, which we just actually miss out on. So that's a little trick on the risk entries. So 18 are there, 11 are there. Heading over to GU, you know, this is another example. I unfortunately got took out here. On this one, I actually did enter on a bullish zone. So in reality, I should have probably been entering in and around here. And with GU, I'd go anywhere from 3 to 4 pips. So even down to this SMT, or just a little bit below it, that was 5R anyway. But yeah, so that's a little tip on how to take risk entries after a little bit of extra confirmation. If you've got any questions, please give me a message.